Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel, and in this video I'm going to be trimming my hair. And quite frankly, I feel like this trim is long overdue. I was supposed to have trimmed this hair no less than 6 months ago. However, better late than never. And also I'm going to be telling you the story of how I went to the salon to have my hair braided and instead I left with split ends. Anyways, before I start off with the story, I want to talk a little bit about this trim. So I trimmed the back part of my hair off camera. Also, I'm using a brand new pair of scissors for this trim because I don't want anything to go wrong today. Like today, nothing has to go wrong while I'm trimming my hair. Because the last time I trimmed my hair, it was an absolute mess. I made a video about it. Go check it out if you're interested, but it was a mess. So, yep. Without further ado, let's start off with a very sad, traumatic, and interesting story. So before I tell you what happened to me on that fateful day, I want to set the scene for you. Between 2017 and 2019, I was a new nacho. I'd just gotten out of high school and I was just joining the university. So I didn't know anything about taking care of natural hair whatsoever. And I did a lot of damage to my hair. Some of the things that I did that were terrible to my hair included always washing my hair until I made sure that it was squeaky clean. After washing my hair until it was squeaky clean, I wouldn't even use a leave-in conditioner. To top it off, I would do wash and goes. The next thing I did was blow dry my hair every 2 months. On top of that, whenever I was going to bed, I wouldn't even wear a headscarf or a bonnet. And everything that I did to my hair during that time was the absolute worst thing you can do to your natural hair. And by the time I was done, my hair was thin, dry, brittle, and extremely unhealthy. And therefore, my hair was so damaged in those years between 2017 and 2019. And around 2020 or 2021, I don't remember which year exactly, but it was during the lockdown, I sat myself down and I said, Rachel, it's not worth holding on to these split ends. And I decided to chop my hair. It was a bad experience. However, I still don't regret it because I ended up having healthier hair at the end of the day. And it was after that trim that I learned how to do things like deep condition my hair using a leave-in conditioner. I learned about aloe vera treatments. I learned very many things about how to effectively and safely take care of hair. I also learned to avoid heat. From that time, I never ever used heat in my hair ever again because heat messed up my hair and it wasn't about to screw me over again. And you know what they say, all good things must come to an end. So this is where the story becomes sweet. I remember the day. It must have been either a Tuesday or a Thursday, sometime in May of 2022. And it was about a week to my graduation ceremony, and I needed someone to braid my hair. Not urgently, but I needed someone to still work on me because grad was coming and, I needed to organize myself and for someone to make me look pretty, so to speak. And I knew just the person to go to. I had this stylist. Her salon is very near home, and I'd gone to her a while back and I trusted her because she always plaited me nicely and she used to charge like a very fair price. And I'd actually recommended quite a few people to her. I recommended my mom and some of my sisters and cousins to her. And they all liked the way that she used to work. So this time I went to her, and when I reached the salon, I asked where she was, and her assistant told me that she wasn't around because she was expecting and she was having some complications with her pregnancy, so she couldn't come to work. And so I asked who was going to be working on me, and then the assistant told me she was going to work on me herself. It wasn't a salon that I was new to, so I trusted her and I thought she would do an excellent job on me. So I sat down, and then I'd plaited in mini twists. She unplaited the mini twists, and then she started combing out my hair. And when she was combing out my hair, she was being very, very aggressive with it. And I was in pain. And because I have this thing in me, like when I'm in a salon or when someone is doing something for me, like some kind of work in regards to my well-being, I fear to make like a negative comment, fearing that maybe I'll come off as being rude. So while she was combing my hair and being aggressive with it, I was in pain, but I kept quiet because I couldn't say anything. I didn't want to be rude to her. Come on. So my hair has some parts that have softer and harder textures. So she must have reached the middle part of my hair because it somehow has a very hard, coarse feel to it. The texture is kind of coarse. So she must have reached that part and she felt she couldn't do it. So she asked me if she could use a blow dryer on it, and I said yes. I wish I had refused, but I don't know. I agreed, and she picked a blow dryer and she started blow drying my hair. Keep in mind that she started blow drying my hair when it was very dry. On top of that, she didn't use any kind of heat protectant. And on top of that, the hair was kind of tangled. So she was ripping out my hair. And every time I would look at the comb, I would see a lot of my hair on it. But what really perturbs me to this day is the fact that she didn't even stop. She couldn't see that she was ruining someone's hair. I looked in the mirror and I saw almost a year of hair that had been nourishing and taken care of, like just being ruined in like a few minutes. And that was the point when I told her, you know what, stop blow drying my hair, let's just start plaiting. So she put down the blow dryer. However, she kept on like combing the hair without using the blow dryer. I told her, no, I already said stop, because it's paining, like I was in pain. And on top of that, I didn't say it, but I was like, you're damaging my hair, you're ruining my hair, can't you see that you're messing up my crown? Anyways, she put down the comb as well, and then she started plaiting the cornrows in my hair. And when I tell you, she started from the middle part of my hair, and when she would braid the cornrows, she would, like, when she's separating the hair at the ends, she would rip it very aggressively, very violently. If you're a type 4 natural, you can hear dry hair that is getting damaged as you separate it. There's a distinct sound that you'll hear, like you'll know that your hair is being messed around with. Even there are some guys who, because opposite their salon there is like a washing bay, and there were guys who were just looking at me like with these eyes of pity, like, oh my god, this poor girl, she's having her hair ruined, completely annihilated. And of course for the hairstylist, like, she couldn't see, but I was the one who was seeing them. They were looking at me, I was looking at them, and we're both just looking at each other with this eye of poor you. Anyways, she plaited my hair, and then when she reached the sides of my hair, it has like a much softer texture. She made a comment that, oh, this part of your hair is like much softer. In my head I was like, woman, don't talk to me, just stop talking, just finish braiding my hair. I just want to get out of here, because you've ruined my whole year of like hard work and like patience and dedication. I've been trying to take care of this hair to allow it to grow and flourish, and in just a few minutes you've messed it up. So I just wanted to leave, and that's what I did. After she was done putting in the cornrows, she put in the extensions, and yeah, I paid her up, and then I bounced. I left the salon because I was just done. I was done with her and done with everything. And so when I reached home, obviously, my mom looked at me and she said, take it out, it's ugly. My mom told me that my hair was ugly. After me spending all those hours in pain and agony, she was telling me to take it out. I said, no, mom, that is not happening. I did not sit through all these hours of pain and my hair being ripped out only for me to come home and for someone to tell me that I just unplait it. She was like, oh, it's not nice, you can't go for your graduation ceremony in such a hairstyle. I said, no, I shall go, and if I want to unplait it, I'll unplait it later on, a few months down the line. And so that evening my sister came. I asked her to make the hairstyle much more presentable, so she fluffed it out. This is how the hair looked like after my sister had worked on it, and it looked so much better, and I went like that for the graduation. I actually wore this same style in for my graduation party, and I'll insert some pictures here if I do have them. I think I do have them, most probably, because who doesn't keep the graduation pictures? And also I wanted to note that I actually really like this style because, number one, it was very easy to style. Also, the extensions are very light in my hair, and these extensions never put any kind of tension in my edges, and it's what I've loved this. I love this style so much because it's one of the styles that I've wore that has left me with peace of mind. I've not had to worry if my edges are going to be ripped out because of the weight of the extensions, and honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons why I love the style. Also, I like this style because it was a change from what I usually wear. I usually wear braids, cornrows, mini twists from time to time, but this style was very different. Even like for the color, I'd never wore this kind of, I don't know, brown, and I feel like if it wasn't for what happened to me, I would have wore this style again. I would have actually gone for someone to braid me in this style again, but PTSD and whatnot. And I was supposed to have had this hair in for about a month, but I was stalling. I didn't want to see the amount of damage that I had experienced. I didn't want to see the state of my hair. So I kept the hair in for much longer. I had the hair in for 2 more months. Basically, okay, I had the hair in for 8 weeks instead of 4 weeks. And yep, I was scared. I'll admit I was a bit of a coward. I was running away from my problem. But sooner rather than later, I had to face the music. And so I did the inevitable. I took the braids out. And I remember that the first time that I looked at my hair, I was so disappointed. I was disappointed in myself, first of all. But I had no reason to be, because it wasn't my fault that someone had been very reckless with my hair and had just ripped it out the way that she wished. And my edges, as you can see right now, that's the way they were, but so much more worse, because now I tried to nourish them and whatnot, but my hair was really bad. And I knew for a fact that I had to trim my hair, because when I was unplaiting my hair, I said, Rachel, you need to trim this hair. I even told my sister that I have to trim this hair, but I was in denial and I didn't want to let go of the length, even though it wasn't good length, because I didn't want to let go of all my hard work and sweat and patience. So for these 6 months, because as I told you already, I plaited that hair in May of 2022. We are currently in January of 2023. That's 6 months plus. I have not done 2 very important things. Number 1, I have never trimmed my hair, and yet I needed to have trimmed it a very long time ago. Number 2, I have never visited a salon. I have never let anyone touch my hair, not even my mom, not even my sister, not any stylist, because I just don't want anyone to mess up what I'm trying to achieve. And going into 2023, I've set a few goals in regards to allowing my hair the opportunity to thrive and grow healthier. Number 1, I want to learn how to braid in extensions in my hair on my own. And while I'm at it, I also want to diversify into new hairstyles. Of course, I'm going to be very careful, because I am fully aware that with new hairstyles comes more risk of damaging your hair, especially for some styles that are very difficult to manipulate and those that require you to leave some of your hair out. Also, I want to learn how to wash my hair often. Before, I used to wash my hair like every 8 weeks, which is every 2 months, and that is not good at all for your hair. It allows for your scalp to be extremely dirty, and dandruff will thrive. A clean scalp is what will allow your hair to grow much healthier. So yeah, I'm aiming for washing my hair as often as every 2 to 3 weeks, but I'm leaning more towards every 3 weeks, because if I'm being honest, that's more manageable, because I'm taking into consideration factors like time. Natural hair takes a lot of time, so I may not have the time to wash my hair every 2 weeks. So I think I'll be washing it as often as every 3 weeks. Also, I want to learn how to keep my moisturizing routine very simple, and most of the time, less is more, and I don't want build up. I want to be very minimalistic this year. And then by the time 2024 rolls around, if the Lord gives us life, I want to see how far I would have been able to achieve, like within 1 year, because I've never really known how much hair can grow on my head in 1 year. So I think I'll do a length check for the very first time. I feel very light and I feel much more happier than I did a few months ago, because while my hair is shorter, it's more manageable. I spend less time braiding it, so I'm not complaining that much. I may have lost my length, but I gained much healthier hair, so that's a win for me. A win is a win. After trimming my hair, I actually put in a protective style. I put in chunky mini twists, and when I tell you, my hair was just extremely easy to detangle. I had no like split ends, no knotting, and after braiding in the chunky mini twists, I did a little micro trim, because I cut off just the excess hair off my twists, because I didn't want any split ends that maybe I'd missed out to stay on my head. But yep, that's the next video that I'm going to be posting.